Hello guys, what's up? This is AJ. So, as the title says, this is not going to be a tutorial series. I always wanted to create a multiplayer game with lots of different characters, and I've decided to give it a try. I'm gonna try to log the progress here. This doesn't mean that you're not gonna learn anything from my channel. This just means that I'm gonna be learning along with you because I'm not like a pro or anything at this, and I think that I still got a long way to go. I'm gonna try to share my ideas, the problems I face when I try to implement them, and how I resolve them. So, if you like my video, give my video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. That would really help a lot. So, without further ado, let's begin this journey. First, I'm gonna try make a character for my game, and I'm gonna use Blender, which is a free software. By no means would I rate Blender to be one of my key skills, but I've been practicing a little with it, and I watched some great tutorials, especially one from a channel called CG Geek. They are really awesome. Check them out. I'll put a link to their channel in the description. I chose Blender because I wanted to go low poly. I've tried Adobe Fuse and Make Human. They're both great softwares, but I didn't really find the creative freedom that Blender offers, and I don't think we can go low poly in those softwares. And most importantly, Blender is free. It is easy to download. Just type download Blender in Google and go to the first link it shows, and it download Blender. So in our default scene, when you open up, first thing I'm gonna do is go to edit, preferences, and check the zoom to mouse position. The default zoom in Blender is not really good, and trust me, you will get really frustrated with it. I'm gonna delete this camera and the light because we are not gonna use them. So I'm gonna go to edit mode. I'm gonna press numpad 1 and switch to front view and put cut right down the middle of the cube using Control R. I'm going to switch to wireframe mode so that I'll be able to see the edges behind the mesh. I'm going to select the left side of the cube and delete it. Delete faces. And I'm going to go to modifier properties, mirror modifier. Now I'll just need to edit one side of the cube and the other side will just follow. Or whatever we do on the right side will get mirrored over to the left. So this is a cool property because we don't need to worry about symmetry or anything anymore. Now I'm gonna switch to front view again and put two cuts here using Control R and the scroll wheel, just like this. So I guess I'll just save the project now and then work on it. So I'm gonna save it as 03.blend. Save Blender file. Now I'm gonna switch to top view by pressing numpad 7 and put two cuts using Control R and the scroll wheel there as well. Now I'm gonna use B for box select and select these vertices. No, I think I selected this face. I don't need that. So just these vertices and I'm just gonna pull them up a little, pull them down a little bit, pull them in a little bit, and I'm gonna select these vertices and pull them up. Again, box select. I'm gonna select these vertices, pull them down a little bit, and I'm just gonna select these vertices and push them in, so that we got a kind of a head like figure. I'm just adjusting these vertices a little bit. Now I'm just gonna select everything, maybe scale along the y-axis a little bit. Yeah, that's good enough. Now I'm gonna box select these vertices, B for box select, and push them in a little bit and pull them up a little bit. Now I'm gonna switch to top view using numpad 7 and pull these vertices out a little bit, push these in a little bit. So we have a good back of the head. Yeah, that's pretty good. Maybe a little bit up as well on these vertices. And let's also edit the front part of the head. So I'm just pushing these vertices in a little bit, and I'm gonna pull this out a little bit. Now let's switch to the side view by pressing numpad 3. And I'm gonna push this vertices in a little bit so that we got a round kind of forehead going on. I'm gonna pull this vertex out a little bit so that we got a nose for a character. Yeah, that's pretty good enough. And I'm gonna box select this vertices and pull it out a little bit for our chin. I'm gonna slide this down a little bit by pressing G 2 times. And you can select the edge loop by pressing Alt and right click on any of the edges. I'm gonna select this edge and try to round the back of the head a little bit. I'm gonna select the vertices here and pull them up. Just trying to get a good round shape for a back of the head. Yeah, that's pretty good enough. B for box select, and I'm gonna pull this out a little bit. gonna select this edge and pull it out a little bit so that we just get a kind of nice round shape or head. Yeah, I guess we are doing fine for now. I'm gonna select this edge, maybe pull it out, maybe push it down a little bit, and I'm gonna pull this edge or vertex a little bit in so that we got a nice definition for our nose here. I'm just gonna select this edge loop and try to flatten the bottom part of the head. I'm just gonna try to move it down a little bit. Maybe the chin is too low, so I'm just gonna try to push it up a little, and maybe just scale the head overall a little bit. Scale the head down overall a little bit. Yeah, that's pretty good. Now I'm gonna go to the bottom part of the head. So this is where the next neck will come out from. Just trying to make the head a little, just tweaking it so that it is kind of a round figure. I'm just gonna push these vertices in a little bit for the eyes. So even though we're not gonna have eyeballs and features like that, I think it's kind of good to have a clear definition for a low poly character. Just gonna push this vertex in a little bit. Maybe the forehead as well. Yeah, just trying to make this head round head a little more round overall. So I guess yeah, this is a good look for a character. Maybe pull the nose out a little bit. Now I'm just gonna push these vertices in so that we have a flat area from where the neck can come out. I'm just gonna push this vertices in a little bit. I'm gonna move the vertices apart so that we got a large area from where the neck can come out. And I'm just trying to bring these edges a little close together, because we don't want our neck to be too large. So I'm just gonna select, switch to face select, and I'm gonna use E for extruding the face out, and I'm just gonna stop it right there and push these extruded parts together so that we got a cool neck over here. And I'm just trying to flatten out the neck right now. Now let's select the face again, extrude it a little more till maybe the chest area. So I'm gonna increase the size a little more and bring them close together so that there's no gap in the middle. Yeah, that's pretty good. Just trying to flatten out the surface there by pressing scale S for scale, and we are scaling along the Z axis or Z, and 0 to flatten out the surface over there. And I'm just gonna pull this face out from for the back and the chest of a player a little bit. And from this surface I'm just gonna extrude again. So E for extrude, so that we get a shoulder area. Yeah, that's pretty good. And that's where arms are gonna come out from. So I'm just gonna pull these vertices out a little bit so that we got a nice buff chest area. I'm gonna move the vertex to the right a little bit. So we got a good shoulder. I'm gonna pull out these vertices for our back as well. Let's just push these vertices in a little bit near our neck area. And I'm gonna select these faces and extrude again. So we got a good chest area. I'm gonna extrude it till out also. Yeah. I'm gonna select these faces, scale it down a little bit, and push them close to each other. So we kind of got a V shape for our body. I'm gonna use Control R to put a cut right here. Yeah, I guess that's good enough. And I'm just scaling it in a little bit. Now I'm gonna move this edge down a little bit, and that's where our arms are gonna come out from. So I'm gonna switch to vertex select and pull these vertices out a little bit for our chest. Yeah, that's pretty good. Now I'm gonna switch back to face select mode and extrude the arms out. And stop here. Or maybe just extrude the arms out till the end. So yeah, is this too big? Yeah, maybe a little bit. So I'm just gonna scale it down at the end there for our wrist to come out. Yeah, that's pretty good enough, I guess. Maybe it's a little too big, so I just pushed it in a little bit. I'm gonna use edge select and slide the edge loop a little bit, maybe pull it out a little bit. Yeah, that's pretty good. Oh, I'm just gonna reduce the size of the arm because I think it is kind of too long compared to a character's body. Yeah, that's pretty good. So I'm just gonna put a cut for elbow here using Control R, and I'm just trying to scale it a little bit. I'm gonna put another cut, and I'm gonna scale it up a little bit. Yeah, that's pretty good for our elbow. I'm gonna extrude out from this face, so just scaling it down a little bit. This is where our wrist is gonna come out from. Maybe rotate it a little. Yeah, and I'm just extruding out the wrist. I'm gonna extrude out a little more, one more time, and I'm gonna scale it up a little. And one last extrusion. And I'm just gonna push it out, pull it out. So we kind of got a hand like thing going on here. And I'm gonna scale it down at the end of our hands a little bit. Just gonna edge select this loop and maybe slide it in a little bit using double tap by using G 2 times. So I'm gonna put another cut over here. I'm just putting this edge up for our knuckles. Of course, we are not gonna have a very well defined knuckle, but small detailing is okay. And I'm just extruding out the face here for our thumb. So I just extruded it out and extruded it out again, and I just rotated using R. I'm just tweaking it a little bit so that it kind of got a good look for our thumb. And maybe this thumb is too huge, so I'm just gonna reduce the height of this, including the palm, and I'm just gonna scale the end of our thumb face a little bit. I'm gonna pull this edge up a little bit and push this edge in a little bit so that we kind of got a defined knuckle. And I'm just tweaking it a little bit. Yeah, I think that is pretty good. I'm just gonna pull this edge up a little bit so that thumb is not too large for our hand. And maybe pull this edge out a little bit for the knuckles. So yeah, that is pretty good looking. Upper body, I'm gonna put another cut over here and select this face and scale it down a little. Maybe pull this edge out a little bit. Now I'm just gonna select these faces and extrude it out a little bit to start working on our torso. I'm just gonna scale it up a little bit and push them close to one another so that there's no gap in between. I'm gonna select this edge loop by pressing Alt right click and slide it up a little bit by double tapping G. Okay, and I'm just gonna scale this face a little bit. Does that look better? Yeah, okay. Okay. Now I'm gonna select these faces, extrude out again. Maybe we should pull this edge out a little bit. So yeah, I'm just gonna extrude out again and stop right here. That's going to be our hip. And I'm gonna select this edge here, edge loop here. Maybe that's enough. Okay, I'm just gonna select this edge, push this in. Now we can start working on our legs. And I'm gonna extrude out leg from this surface. Just gonna pull these vertices in a little bit. I'll just switch to wireframe mode so that we can see the back side of our mesh. I'm just gonna extrude out from the surface. So we'll stop at knee, maybe a little bit more. So we'll just complete have the complete line and then work on our knees. So we extrude it out one more time, and that's where our boots are gonna come from. And I'm just gonna scale this surface a little bit. Maybe let's do short. Okay, I'm gonna just scale this surface down a little bit, extrude out one more time, and just scale this. So kind of got a boot-like figure. And since our character is gonna be low poly, I think that will suffice. Just gonna pull this edge up a little bit. So we kind of got a shape of a leg, and the feet is not too flat. Just gonna put a cut right down here, and I'm just gonna extrude from all the four sides. So we got some kind of definition in this character. Yeah, that is pretty good. Okay. Mm, I'm just gonna use Alt right click to select the edge loop and slide it down by using G by pressing G two times. And I'm just gonna add another edge loop here, so we can extrude out from this face and kind of have a little definition for our knees here. So I guess that is pretty good enough for a low poly character. I'm thinking maybe we'll extrude out a little at the hip area so that we kind of have a bed-like thing going on. So I'm just gonna edge select this and push it out. Just doing some minor tweaks to our character. So I'm just gonna extrude out from this face and the other faces as well. 5, 6 faces. Yeah, that is pretty good enough for a simple definition where upper body is ending and lower body is starting. So we kind of got a cool little character going on here. So I'm just gonna save this, maybe use it as a template for making other characters. Save as, just gonna save it as 000. Yeah. And now I'm just gonna start working on 0 again. I'm just gonna extrude out from these surfaces, these three surfaces here for our hair. So we get a kind of spiky looking hair out here. Just extruding it out, maybe scale it down a little bit. And pull it out a little bit. Oh, our character, basic character is kind of over. You can I mean, the template for the characters kind of over. You can just use your own imagination and do whatever you wish to with this character. So I'm just gonna pull out another face from here and maybe scale it down, and another face. Yeah, that is kind of okay. Hmm. Okay. Uh, Now let's do the same with the other surface. I'm just gonna extrude out a little and scale it in, extrude out another surface and scale it again. I'm just gonna select this edge loop, pull it out. Does that work? Okay, that is fine. I'm just gonna select this face and move it away a little bit. Select this edge. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. So I'm just gonna do that, and I got two spiky hairs coming out now. So that is okay. Yeah, I'm just extruding it again and scaling it at the end. Uh, One last extrusion for a spiky hair, and I'm just gonna scale down there a little bit. Another extrusion, and just scaling it down. And that's the final one. Yeah, and I'm just gonna scale it down a little. So this kind of good looking character. Just gonna put a edge loop over here. Maybe try to scale it down a little. Gonna put a edge loop over here as well, so that we can kind of have a small definition for our mouth. So I just put another edge loop and scale it down a little bit, and another edge loop for our nose. I'm gonna put another edge loop, control R for that, and I'm just gonna scale it in. So we kind of have a small definition for our mouth. Mm, Another edge loop over here. And I'm just gonna pull these vertices back a little and close the gap there. So yeah, there's a cool poly character. Now that we got a character, created. Let's try giving it some color. So I'm just gonna select this material option here. I'm gonna name this maybe blue. And I'm gonna change the color to kind of a sky blue color here. And I'm gonna select head and the spiky hair, all these vertices, all these faces, sorry. And assign this color. Okay, that didn't go well. Okay, I'm gonna add another material, create new, and I'm gonna call this skin, and kind of give it a skin color around here. Select this face, select the skin color, assign. Okay, that's how it looks. So I'm just gonna grab all these faces we got here. And the neck, the hands as well. Okay, I could just use box select here. And assign the skin color we got. So now that I showed you how to add color to the character, I'm gonna skip a little and come back when I have my character colored and ready to go. It's basically just minor tweaks and redoing some of the colors, and I don't think you need that. Uh, I think that you'll be fine with using your imagination and making it run wild and creating a cool character and making it come to life. So I'm back. Just rated some of the colors. Like the sky blue color was not really going for what I wanted of this character, and I think that this is a cool look for the character. So now let's try exporting it and rigging it in mixamo. So I'm just gonna pull this character up so that the character's foot comes right at the origin, like around, yeah, that is good, I guess. Maybe a little bit more. So yeah, that is fine. Now files, export, and fbx. So I'm just going to overwrite this file and save it there. So now that our character is finished and exported, I'm just going to go to mixamo, and we got our first character over here. I'm just going to upload the new character, select character file, and 01.fbx. And mixamo just takes us to this auto rigger where we can assign the bones of chin, wrists, elbows, knees, and the groin area. And that's pretty much it. And we just gotta wait till the rigging is over. It's great that mixamo does everything for us, and we don't have to worry about creating bonds and aligning them. And that's a new character. So I'm just gonna hit next, download the T-pose, and it's going to be FPX for Unity. Hit download, and that's pretty much it. We got a character rigged and downloaded from mixamo. I'm just gonna import it right here. So import new asset, downloads 01.fps. Rig. We're gonna go to rig, and I'm gonna set the animation type as humanoid. Create from this model, and hit apply. Now I'm just gonna make a copy of this on our scene. Move it maybe a little bit to the left, and change the camera angle. So I'm just gonna select the camera, game object, align with align view to the selected, align with view. Yeah, that's better. Maybe a little more. Align with view, and I'm just gonna add the controller. This one, which I have already made for our first character, and in this animator controller, I just have some basic animations which were also downloaded from mixamo. I'll show you how to do that in a future video soon. And let's see what we got on our first character. We just have a capsule collider and a rigid body, so let's just add that. Gonna hit apply to. Okay, let's unpack this. So I'm just gonna select this, unpack prefab completely. Okay, now we can create a new prefab out of this if you want. And I'm just gonna resize the capsule collider so that it fits our character. That's better. And I'm gonna set the constraints freeze rotation so that a character doesn't fall over. And that's pretty much it for animation for now. So let's just see if it is working. And yeah, we got our two characters waving at us and doing this combo punching action. And yeah, I think that's pretty cool for a new character. So that's it for today's video. Thank you all for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and smash that like button. Good luck. See you. Bye.